the NBA did a very bad job promoting the Spurs.
It's just
What
tough
do you
to.
mean?
I mean, it's just. Go ahead. Make your case.
Well, I mean, we knew them because of they were in the NBA Finals every other year. It seemed like. I mean, it was a dynasty, but let's be honest, it wasn't flashy.
Were they really a dynasty?
Well, they won
We'll get
three
into that
championships. They
later.
won 3 championships in 6 years.
I mean,
From 99 to 2005, they won 3 chips.
We'll get into that later. But
if
keep going.
they're not a dynasty, could you tell me who is a dynasty?
To me, my definition of a dynasty is like when you are the best team in the league and you dominate like your entire era. The reason why I don't say that, I mean, the Spurs were a great team, but you got to think like they won in 99 and then Shaq and Kobe won 3 straight. And then after that, then they won again, then they lost, then won again, they lost again, then won. Like to me, like, I feel like you have to dominate your era for like a good amount of time. Like the Bulls were a dynasty because they dominated the era. The Lakers in the early 2000s, they dominated that time. Even the Warriors in the past like recent decade, they dominated that time. Like the Spurs were a great team, but I don't consider them in that like dynasty category because it was like, they won one, then they would have won again to like probably 4 or 5 years later. So that's just my opinion. I mean, I know everybody's different, but
right. Well, I would say I would assume that the Warriors were a dynasty. So do you not think the Warriors are a dynasty? Because I mean,
they are. Yeah, they are.
So I mean, did how? Because they didn't win like 3 in a row. Like they just.
Yeah, but they won like what 3 or 4 years. I mean, but it's like I mean, but there was too many gaps with the Spurs winning. Like there was gaps in between. That's what I'm trying to say.
They won 4 titles in 6 years.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm still referring to like the first 3 in a way. Like, so they won in 15, obviously they lost in 16, but then they came back and won 17, 18. So they won 3 in 4 years.
It was 3 in 6 years. My fault. 99, 03, 05. Yeah, then
07.
Then the Heat won. Yeah, then the Spurs won, and then it was a 7 year drought.
And when the Heat won, when the Heat won, who were they playing?
They played Dallas.
Yeah, they played Dallas.
Yeah.
But Dallas beat San Antonio that year.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So, right.
To me, if the Warriors are a dynasty, the Spurs are a dynasty too.
Yeah. Right. They had like how many seasons of 50 wins? Like 20 seasons of 50 wins?
I get that. Like, I mean, of course the Spurs were consistently good. I'm not taking nothing away from them, but it's like when I think about like dynasty, like the Warriors dominated. Like they were clearly the best team. Like there was no question. Like with the Spurs, it was like, oh, you still got the Lakers, you still got the Pistons, these other teams, but it's like there wasn't no question as far as like who was the best team when the Bulls played. There was no question who was the best team when Shaq and Kobe played. There was no question who was the best team when the Warriors were together. Even once they got KD, it was no question. So I mean, that's just where I'm coming off of.
I mean, it's you, I guess, but to me, I'm just going to say, like, if the Warriors are a dynasty for winning 2 or 3 and 4 years, then the Spurs winning 3 and 6 years is, I mean, just 2 years later, like, it's still pretty much the same thing. But
yeah, I think it's.
But it's okay.